It's mostly in India and Africa. And I have been associated with the Philippines sugar industry for a very long time. I have been coming to this industry and I have visited most of the sugar mills around here. So I will make the presentation very fast so that you can get the idea what is required actually. This is just about our company. So my presentation will have an introduction. What is the requirement or what is the impact of cane preparation for your working on mills? And we'll discuss about the new design of cutter, which is called swing knife design. Uh, and what are the advantages and what are the problems what we face with the present fixed type cutter what we have in the industry. And we'll also discuss about the some results and discussion. Now, as we all know that the cane preparation is a very important part, and as we are going for mechanization of cane handling, as well as we go along the cane cutting operation, yeah, there are a lot of challenges going to come for the where the first the cane is fed to the cutters or for preparation purpose. That is where the most of the challenges will come, and so it is a very power intensive and also the high maintenance cost which is involved in the cane preparation. Now, if you see the what are the objective is have a higher cane preparation, which is to have a long fiber, and which is always a challenge actually, because when we try to increase the cane preparation index, you will end up in a very powdery preparation, which also results in high reabsorption, whether it's a milling or whether it's a diffusion. I believe there was a presentation on the diffuser in the previous presenter. So that's where if you have very powdery preparation, you have a lot of choker problem in the diffuser. And in case of milling, you have a lot of reabsorption problem. So the cane preparation is a very important for the milling system, as well as because of the lot of extraneous matter, which could be stone, lot of sand which is coming along with the roots of the sugarcane. And so you have to have a really good care to be taken for the cane preparation. So as I said, lower maintenance cost and lower power per unit ton of cane actually. This is very important for the factories which are exporting power to the grid. This is just to give you idea that what are the various power requirement for the typical factory. We have some leveler kicker, and which is a clearance. It also depends on what kind of clearance we are operating. See, as we progress, we have different clearances, which is for leveler, cutter, and chopper, what we use. And the last thing, the cane goes to shredder, where you do the final preparation. So this is just an idea. So all around, like you have a 10 to 14 units per ton of cane, which is put for the installation. And depending on your setting of equipment, you could have a cane preparation of 8 to 10 or 9 to 12 units per ton of cane, which is the operation power which is required for the cane preparation. Just to give you an idea, which is already reported in literature, everyone knows that cane preparation is a very important part in milling or whether it's diffusion. In fact, diffuser is the most important in fact, because in case of diffuser, if your cane is not well prepared, you will not get the required extraction. But in case of milling, even if you have a lower cane preparation, it can be balanced. So every 1 unit of cane preparation, you will have a higher 0.2 unit mill extraction. In fact, it can be more also actually, depending on the factory to factory, what kind of milling system you have. It could be as high as 0.3 unit per every. I'm saying 0.3 unit is a mill extraction for every per unit of cane preparation index, which is measured as pole in open cell, which is the standard method which is used that you take out the prepared cane sample, which is put onto the water vessel where the water is circulated, and depending on the open cell, you have the bricks absorbed on the water, and that bricks is converted into pole in open cell. Now, I am very clearly saying that above is not valid. Even if some mill they claim they have very high cane preparation, but that does not really results in higher extraction. It is because of a very powdery preparation. And the powdering preparation is a very, very important part of the cane preparation system. Now, there are some people think that cutting is not important. Some people have a single cane fiberizer where the cane direct, you do some cutting, maybe one cutter or just a small cutter, and the cane directly goes to the shredder or a fiberizer, especially in cane, inline fiberizer, what we call. But this I don't buy this idea because the cane, if you see the cane piece, it has got a rind, and the rind portion is very hard. And if the rind portion is not cut before it goes to shredder or fiberizer, you have a very high maintenance on shredder and fiberizer both actually. And so the cutting of, or I would say when I say cutting, it's a more of a sharing of cane, which is sharing the rind portion, which is the hardest part of the sugar cane. And that is where the cane preparation becomes a very important part. That why cutting is important. I say cutting is important before fiber or sugar. Now I'm going to talk about the new type of design, which is called swing cane. We all use cutters or chopper for cutting of sugar cane, which is fixed type cutter. This is a swing design where the knife is also moving. It's like the concept is from the fiberizer shredder, which is also a swing design. So why not we have the same type of design with our sintered carbide knife for cutting the sugar cane action. So it has a lot of advantage. It can be, as I said, all the cutters and choppers are used as pre-prepared devices. It avoids jamming of cane because a knife can adjust the gap. If there is a overfed of the cane, the knife can move back and it can allow the sugar cane to pass actually. We can also do the reinforce of hub protection with our carbide tips. Next. Now this is just to show you the picture. You can see the whole assembly, which is a swing knife, which is mounted on one pin, like what we have in fiber shredder. And also we do the sometime on the hub also we do the sintered carbide welding. So the hub is also act as a cutter. Now if you really see the cutter is like a mixture. I call it as a mixture actually. It is not like have a perfect shoot like shredder where the cane is fed from the top and the bottom you get a prepared cane. It is the entire cane which is on the cane carrier, whether it's operating in direction or reverse direction. Sometimes people operate cutter in reverse direction. It acts like a mixture actually. So the whole amount of cane, I will when I say whole amount of cane is for long cane, not for the billet cane, because we are still not in billet cane here. So the whole amount of cane goes in a mixture type of arrangement. So where the cane is cut or sheared onto the pieces, I will put it shearing action is more important than the cutting action. So this is our complete assembly. Now we have a different design. It can be a three-way design. In case of three-way design, you can put three knives on one half. So you can put more number of knives on the in the same amount of width. So you can, in case of two-way design, you have two knives on one half. So and the pitch can be adjusted depending on the requirement. The advantage of this kind of design is that you can operate with a lower clearance. Now, how does the swing action happens actually? It happens because of impact and also the centrifugal shearing action. That's why it's called double impact. So, and also we can operate this at the lower clearances compared to any fixed type design. So when you operate with the lower clearances from the cane carrier, you get a higher contact area. And because of the higher contact area and double impact action of the knife also gets the impact and then it's got every action as a reaction, what we call. So you will get a double action, what we call the impact and shearing action. And that makes the cane preparation much better and you have a lower power compared to any type of fixed type cutter. In fact, what we have observed that we are able to get for a fiber of 14%, it is less than 1.5 units per ton of cane. But if you have a higher fiber, especially in Africa, where the fiber is more than 18-19%, it is more than 3 units per ton of cane. So you get a better impact action and better sharing action, and also we can cover we can operate with the lower clearances. So we have a higher contact action for the entire cutting action. So we get better power. The more the power is The power is better utilized, so you get a lower power for the cutting of the sugarcane.
This work. This is just to give you the what kind of knife we can see in our booth. These are the carbide knife, and these are a very hard knife, and this can give a larger impact on the sugarcane. And these are 60 HRC. This can be welded onto any knife actually, depending on the design. This is the composition what we are giving. This video will run. I'll just show you the video if it goes. This is the actual working. We had when we installed, we took the video. So this is our swing knife. How it's work? It's the same. It's like operate like a fan. You can see actually. So when the cane comes in contact with it, it becomes like a tuk 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 tuk. You can say it like that. So it becomes like a mixture. And your case, you have a lot of sometimes the big stone comes. So even if the stone comes, at the most it will break my tip, which can be easily replaced actually very fast. Now, just to give you an idea, what are the problems with the fixed type cutter? You have elongation of holes on the hub. You have shearing of knife holders, and it can be high shear because of the foreign material, which is the most problematic in the Philippine sugar industry. Jamming. See, you cannot because all the cane is fed manually. When I say manually, of course, using the crane or like swing, what do you call it? Ropes, which are the entire. So there is always a overfeeding of sugarcane which happens on the carrier, and that creates a lot of jamming problem, especially on first cutter and stalling of your cane carrier. Excessive gap. Sometimes there is excessive gap. Bolt tightening is required for every stoppage actually, which is excessive manpower. And the replacement of bolt is not possible because after every, when you have to change the knives after maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on the breakage of this thing, you need to replace all the bolts because the bolts got already seized and you have to cut up on all the bolts actually. These are the type of failure which you want to show. Mostly the shearing of knife. Then you need excessive manpower to tighten the bolt, and nowadays to get manpower is very difficult for doing this kind of work because everybody wants to work on artificial intelligence. So this is a very problematic area for the sugar industry that it needs excessive manpower for tightening of bolts. I talked about the problem of the jamming of because of the overfeeding. In swing type, we don't observe any jamming, even if it's overfed actually, to an extent. So I call it as a fixed type as an uncertain design because the bolts get sheared, the holders get oblong, the hole get oblong. You have to cut the bolt. So there are many sorts of issue which happens, high maintenance issue, which is the problem with the fixed type design. Now, just to give you an idea, it is not like it's a very new some equipment. If you there's a company called Fulton, they have this kind of equipment. Of course, they have a disc actually instead of what I've shown you as a three-way or two-way design. And they have a regular knife what we use. What we have is a sintered carbide net. That's one difference, and we use two-way or three-way design. So this is the equipment which is already been there in Central America and Mexico countries. Your knife replacement is very easy. It's just mounted on the pin. So you just remove the pin. It is less than 3 to 4 hours to replace all the knives. So nil downtime. This is just multiple benefits which we discuss. There is one more video. Okay, we'll just skip that. It's working.
Imco Fixed Pipe Leveler is optimally designed for seamless integration with the main cane carrier, significantly boosting cane density fed to cutters and enhancing overall throughput and performance. Our heavy-duty Imco cutter is perfect for auxiliary carrier operations, with custom modifications to prevent jamming and a sophisticated dual knife configuration. It ensures consistency and smooth operation. For those needing even more precision, our cutters are available with an anvil plate design. Imco Swing Cane Design Leveler is tailored to meet your factory's specific requirements, layouts, and expansion goals. It offers a 25% reduction in overall power consumption per ton of cane, even with higher fiber content. The expanded contact radius during rotation ensures more effective cutting, while the durable design eliminates knife breakage with a robust shear mechanism on bolts and holders. Energy efficient and easy to maintain, our knives can be quickly replaced within hours, reducing downtime losses and labor costs. Experience revolutionary cutting with our dynamic double impact. The swing knife design generates a powerful double impact cutting action, utilizing the knife's own weight to enhance efficiency and shearing action. With reduced jamming and increased contact efficiency, our design features a reduced carrier gap, enhancing the contact action by 25%. Imco's precision machining ensures a very compact and vibration-free design, offering superior edge retention, sharpness, and increased cutting efficiency. We have unparalleled infrastructure, quality, and door-to-door service.
So this is just a typical layout where first cutter and then the second. Generally we prefer that the second cutter should be a swing tight and operate in the reverse direction actually, which is before fibrizer or before shutter, depending on the factory configuration. So this is the experience in India and Africa. We have been converting a lot of this thing in India and Africa, and we can just convert any of your existing cutter by just replacing the two-way or three-way design, and we will utilize the existing bearing housing or motor and the foundation. So there is not a very big impact on the cost of replacement of existing cutter. And if something goes wrong, you can go back to the old design actually. So I've learned from one Filipino person that whatever changes you do sometime, it should be reversible actually. So that factory, because the sugar mill is a very reliable, anything goes wrong with the sugar mill, the planters or the farmers suffer. So you have to have a very high reliability of equipment when you do any changes actually. Thank you.